to Nikki's Scrapbooking Adventures. Today I'm going to share the process that I'm doing for this layout for the Bashbowl at Bash Your Scrapbook Stash Facebook group. They put forward criteria that you have to have on your layout that gathers your team points. I'm on the Team Twisted Scissors. And my goal today is to get a touchdown. 1 point for 3 red items, 1 point for 3 pieces of ephemera, 3 buttons for 1 point, and an interactive element for 2 points. And the layout being submitted is worth 1 point, so that is a touchdown worth 6 points. So, I am going to be doing a layout today about my husband and I's 5th anniversary, and the item for the 5th wedding anniversary is wood. So I decided to get my husband a gift certificate to bury the hatchet, because that is what you do. You bury your hatchet inside some wood. And I used a digital copy of the Lumberjack collection by Echo Park. And so this is actually considered a digital hybrid layout. One of the papers that I printed is this background sheet from my 12 by 12. So it is blank on the other side. Echo Park's normal collections do not come with a blank side, so you can tell that this is digital. The other way you can tell it's digital is because there is already a white border all the way around. And that's unavoidable in my printer settings. So here we are. So here is the picture of the card that I made with the voucher in there, and then the gift that my husband gave me was an addition to my ring. So we took a picture of our hands together. How sweet. So I am going to be placing my photos right about here. Okay, and I got my sketch idea from Scrapping Reflections, and this is the sketch idea. Now I went off it a lot. I'm not going to end up doing this little loop-de-loop thing here, but I was inspired by this little piece down here. So I took a piece of that lumberjack. Now this is actually part of the Echo Park collection. And I cut a circle with my We Are Memory Keepers circle cutter. Okay. I then roughed up the edges and cut it in half so that I have 2 halves of 1 circle. So I'm going to be placing 1 half right down here and then 1 half right up here. And I'll explain that little punch out here in just a moment. Okay, so then my photos went here. Now, this looks a little funky in my opinion, and so I felt like I needed a reason for this photos to be here. So I created a shelf. I printed this paper on 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and then I chose to rip it, and then I added a little bit of hickory smoke, which is gray, Distress Oxide ink to here, so it didn't look so stark white. And I'm going to use this as a shelf for my photos. Okay, that looks a little bit better, right? So that is 1 red element. So that's 1. Keep track for me, okay? The requirement of the red elements is that they have to be 1 inch long. Okay. So the next, I knew I wanted to do this piece right here. It is a die cut, so it's considered ephemera, but I'm going to use it as a red piece. And my title is actually going to go down here for something a little different. I feel like normally I would put the title right up here, but I have a reason. I really like my title right here. Okay. So then I have an ephemera piece. So that's 1 ephemera and 2 red. And I love this moose. I don't know what it is about him. I think he's just so cute. So I'm going to put him right here. kind of touch, well, I'm going to keep them off from touching that. So there's that. And then I decided to pull in some wood veneer. So I could definitely cover this red. It's an inch, but that's okay. I'm going to put it right there. Okay. Look at how cute that is already. End up doing a diagonal-ish design. So that's one cluster. That one is done. Second cluster, which is going to be in my middle here based on this, is I'm going to cover up, use a piece of ephemera. So this is ephemera piece number 2 to cover up what that says. I'm just going to move it right on in over this. Okay, so you can still see the text from my card. It covers up that portion, and then my moose actually touches right there, so that's perfect. Okay, the next part I have some wood looking buttons here, and I actually purchased these for a RTS swap. Love RTS swap. The inside kind of reminded me of the inside of a sunflower, and I did a sunflower swap. So I used all the smaller already, and I'm going to place 5 buttons along the bottom here. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now you can see I already put some white embossing or floss in there, and I just sewed it on there. Did it a couple times. So the 5 represents the 5 years of marriage that we are celebrating. And then I have a little piece of wood veneer to round that out. Okay, so that's cluster number 2. So far I have 2 red elements, 2 die cuts, and 5 buttons, which I only had to have 3 on my layout. Okay, so there is that. Next part is going to be right up here. I have this cute little die cut, so that's ephemera number 3. It's going to go right there. Okay, and then I have a little flag banner right there. Now, this tells me to grab my axes. Well, one of the ephemera pieces that happens to be red is also axes, and I thought it would be super cute to put my interactive piece, which I cut out in a smaller circle from here and drew lines on. This is just a piece of scrap paper, and I'm going to put it right in here. Okay, so then the instructions are to grab your axes. I put that little ephemera piece on here, and I'm going to stick it right there so that people know to grab this to read the journaling. See how I'm clever there? So I figured out that this is a 1-inch circle, so I cut a 1 1/4 inch circle and then made little slits so that I know for sure that this goes in and out, or will go in and out. Okay. So my journaling is going to include that it's our 5th anniversary and why I chose the theme I did. And it's going to talk about my husband's gift to me as well and how special that was. So this is just a little bit of a different layout today. It includes my 3 ephemera pieces, my 3 red pieces, which I'm actually going to consider this part because that's over 1 inch. This is under 1 inch. But this is ephemera, so we're good. We got 3 ephemera, we've got my interactive page, and I got a touchdown. I will link to the Bash Your Stash Scrapbook Stash Facebook group so you can play along with the fun next year, get some inspiration this year. And please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.